When I learn Japanese, I'll I'll watch anime and don't need to have the subtitles.
Yeah, but how's that going to help you with your career in the future? You're going to be an anime analyst?
No.
You're going to open up a YouTube channel and review all the animes and translate them in Vietnamese?
Oh yeah, maybe yes.
Maybe yes. Hello, hello, hello. Foggy computers again?
Maybe.
Did you talk to your mom about this?
No, I didn't.
You just forgot. Did you completely forget? Maybe.
Yeah.
You got your test paper?
No.
No test paper either. Oh my God. How come you got no test paper? I did. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, here we are. Interest 16. Are you ready? No, because you don't even have your test paper. Where's little Paris?
She's downstairs eating dinner.
Oh, that's not your regular room when you do classes. Where are you now?
I'm in my room.
Oh, this is your room. So when you do the classes, whose room are you in?
It's just a room. I don't know what it's called.
It's just a spare room?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have your book, so it's all topics that we had in Interest 16. So the first one we're going to do is about sports culture, right? We talked about that boy growing up in Brazil who played a lot of football, and they have competitions and different things. So we're going to talk about your school clubs and sports. And then the second one, we're going to talk about languages a bit, because we had that history of alphabets and languages. So a few questions on that. And then our reading is going to be about mind sports, lesson 1, when people play Go and stuff at the Olympics and all these different things, and whether or not they should be in the Olympics or not. So, are you ready?
Maybe yes.
Maybe. All right, here we go. Okay, so topic 1 is sports culture. Now we read about, as I said, we read about that boy. I forget his name, but competitions at school. So tell me, do you have sports teams in your school or locally?
I don't know much about sports. I just know that there are no sports clubs in my school.
No badminton team, no football team, nothing in your school. Not one sports team.
Just in special event, they will choose the people to play badminton or something.
So only for special events, no clubs linked to the PE classes.
Yeah, but boys in some class sometimes play football with other class.
Sometimes class against class.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coco, one of the students in our advanced reading, he said they just had a chess tournament at school, and it was the winner from each class went to the tournament, and Coco won his class, and he won the chess tournament in the whole school. It's pretty cool. So what about locally? I remember when I lived in Kumfa, there was some organized football teams. Are there any other organized sports that you know of?
Maybe yes, but I'm not taking any attention to sports.
Not paying any attention to sports. Yeah. Like pay attention in class, pay attention to something going on. So there probably is, but you have no idea because you don't care about sports. So what do you care about?
Just learning and learning. That's all.
Studying and playing? If you could join a club, what kind of a club? Well, actually, that's part 3. I'll wait. I'll ask you that in a minute. Do you think, I mean, I know you don't play sports, at least not, teams and stuff like that. But do you think the schools should have more sports and clubs, like maybe a drama club or painting club or reading clubs? Do you think they should have more clubs or activities for kids after school?
Of course. I love doing something with friends after school.
So if you could pick a club, what club would you like to be part of or create at your school?
Maybe anime fan club.
Anime fan club. Okay, so anime is videos, right?
No, there's like cartoons, but they made in Japan.
Yeah, anime and manga. But manga is like a comic book, right?
Yeah.
And anime is not a comic. Is a comic book too, or is it? I thought they were cartoons, like videos.
They just like films, and they have chapters.
Right. Okay, so they tell ongoing stories, and you can watch the videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they have a storyline. It's like superheroes and stuff like that, right? Yeah, because I've seen some people dressed up in anime characters. I was in one of our classes.
Cosplay, maybe?
Yeah, that's right. Cosplay or something. That sounds really familiar. All right. There we go. That was our warm-up. It's easy. Easy. Let's go to topic 2. All right. In our topic 2, we talked about languages. Remember our topic about all the crazy alphabets and how Arabs write right to left, not left to right. And how languages started with, well, many of them started like symbols or pictures to make words, and then combining words together to make more new definitions. Picture of a fire and a man, put them together, it was a fireman. Different things like that. Do you remember that lesson? Of course you do.
No.
Well, then we'll have to read the whole thing again. All right. Well, of course, we're not going to go into ancient languages in our test, but we're just going to talk about more relevant information. How many languages can you speak? And tell me, how are they different?
Maybe 2, but I can't speak English fluently.
You're getting really good at it. It's coming, as long as you keep practicing. You're welcome. So you can speak English and Vietnamese, of course. How do you find them different? Like grammatically or flow or sentence structures?
I think that when I'm a foreigner, not Vietnamese or English or American, I think that Vietnamese is more difficult than English.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, when English you spell the letters.
Yeah.
Vietnamese doesn't. Like I take an example, like the word suck,
Suck, like this pizza sucks?
No, it's a Vietnamese word.
Oh, it's a Vietnamese word. Okay.
Like sharp.
Sharp, okay. And that's suck?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's spelled suck.
Suck. Really? That's how it's spelled? That many times?
Oh, yeah, many times.
And why is that?
I don't know why. but I think it's difficult to foreigners when they learn Vietnamese. Yeah.
Well, Chinese, Arabic, I would guess that most of the northeastern Asian countries like Japanese, Korean, and I would put Vietnamese in there because of their alphabet. To me, I think those are probably some of the hardest languages to learn for sure. For sure, for sure. So okay, so I didn't know that a lot of the words aren't pronounced the way they're spelt. That sounds confusing. Okay. What language would you like to learn and why? I mean, you're already a very good student of English and you're already Vietnamese. So those are the two that you know now that you can communicate. So if you had to pick a third one, what would it be and why would you want to learn that one?
Maybe Japanese or Russian because it's helpful. When I learn Japanese, I'll I'll watch anime and don't need to have the subtitles.
Yeah, but how's that going to help you with your career in the future? You're going to be an anime analyst?
No.
You're going to open up a YouTube channel and review all the animes and translate them in Vietnamese?
Oh yeah, maybe yes.
Maybe yes. Well, some people have made a living just commenting on their favorite sports teams, and they have a big enough following. They can make a living at it. I always wanted to do that, but I never did. And copyrights are big problems. But there is a guy, I don't know if he's American or Japanese or what he is, but he started a YouTube channel and it's all about Pokemon.
Wow.
And he makes millions of dollars now. He has like millions of subscribers. I bet you if I'll try to remember that in class or after class, I'll try to check. I'm just going to write down Pokemon here because I saw him and it was a big story because it was like this guy created a small empire on his YouTube channel all about Pokemon. And I think he even has his own store so that he can get all the stuff you want and all that stuff, like all the characters and all the different things. Yeah, and he's rich because of this channel. It took a long time to build up, of course, but it's certainly a love that he had, and it's paid off. There's probably like 1,000 Pokemon channels now, but he did really well. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll share it with you guys in our next class. Okay, so Japanese, because you could watch anime, bad reason. How would Russian help you? What is it with Vietnamese and Russians?
When we go to the college or something, we need to learn the third language, I think.
Mm-hmm. I heard that.
So maybe Russian is a good choice. Chinese is a good choice too, but I prefer Russian.
A lot of students prefer Russian. They think Russian's cooler and everything. But I would suggest that living in Vietnam and only 200 kilometers from China, where you live, I would think that since China is the most spoken language in the world, and Vietnam does a lot of business with China, you would probably get more benefits if you spoke Chinese than Russian. But it was, what would you like? So Russia it is. Russian or Japanese it is. We already talked about this briefly. Which languages do you think are the hardest to learn?
Maybe Chinese or Japanese.
So you think the same as me? The Eastern Asian countries?
Yeah, because writing a word is very difficult.
Yeah, all those symbols and caricatures, or I don't know I forget what they call it, but yeah, that would be tough to learn the Chinese language. It's like painting It's like an art. Some of these, I'm looking at the book right now, and I'm looking at some of the Chinese. What are they called? Chinese what?
I don't know what is it called.
I got it right here. Let's see. Oh, Chinese. Oh, it doesn't even say it here. They just say characters. Yeah, no, that's a tough one. That's for sure. That's a tough one. I think it's probably harder than Korean or Japanese. All right, let's go to our reading and comprehension. All right, so part 2, reading comprehension. 6 questions related to mind sports. Remember, mind sports are those games like Go and playing cards and chess, things like that. Checkers, I guess, would be a mind game too. But I'm going to get you to tell me why they're mind games. Are all card and board games examples of mind sports?
No.
Why not? What's the difference of playing Monopoly and playing chess? You winners and losers?
It depends on our lucky.
What depends on our lucky? On our luck?
And on our luck.
So how are they different? You said not all are examples of mind sports. Why are some considered mind sports and some considered not mind sports?
Because some games depends on our luck.
Our luck.
Using dice.
When you use dice, exactly. Yeah, they call those games of chance. I think I said before. You can play strategies because some numbers come up more than others, of course, but you can't predict or plan what the numbers are going to be. So that's a game of chance. That's right. The second question. Are mind sports competitions popular with many people?
Yes, there are millions of fans in the world.
Yeah, millions of people enjoy watching the mind sports. That's why there's a lot of, I don't know if it's controversy, but a lot of talk about it anyway, or debates, that they want them to be in the Olympics. And I think bridge and maybe a couple of others have been in the Olympics. Bridge is a card game, a very popular card game. What do you think? Do you think chess and Go and those games should be in the Olympics?
Maybe yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Because to me, when I think Olympics, I'm thinking of athletes. You know what I mean? Like everybody who's in the Olympics have to be top of the world athletes. They have to be fast runners or really strong or really skilled in physical performance. And mind sports, sure, it's hard and you have to put just as much time for training, but it's not about physical, it's about mental, mind sports. So I'm not sure if they would fit together. But a lot, that's the debate, right? A lot of people think yes and a lot of people think no. But I think it's good that they have the World Mind Sports games. That's good because it's definitely competitive, for sure.
Do you think that one day there will be a competition for mind sports, like Olympics?
Well, there already is. The Mind Sports Games, the World Mind Sports Games, is like the Olympics. It's just a different organization. And they have all the best chess players and all the best Go players and card players for the sports that they list in Mind Sports, which you could Google to find out what games are accepted. And they do have tournaments, world championship tournaments, and millions of people watch it. And they even have like world champions for darts. I've seen that too. World championships for billiards, pool. And I even think in Las Vegas, not long ago, they had the world championships for Scrabble. You know the game Scrabble?
I don't know.
Scrabble's when you You have a box, a board that's just all squared, and then you have all these little wooden pieces, and they have letters on it. And then you have, I think it's 7 or 9 letters at a time, and you have to connect words and make words on the board. And then you pick up new ones, and you get different letters, and you have to keep creating words on the board. And every letter, like if you use an X or a Z or something, it might be worth 8 points or 10 points. If you use vowels like E's and A's, they might be worth only a point or two. But that's how you calculate the score and how difficult the words are. And I used to play quite a bit, especially with the classes in Indonesia. I tried to buy a Scrabble board here at Newway, but I couldn't find one anywhere in Vietnam. But that's a really good game because you're building words all the time. And they have world champions for that too. They even have world championships now for sports on PlayStation, like hockey and FIFA football and all that stuff. I watched a tournament. I don't know where it was. I think in the US. And the world champion was a guy from Sweden. And it was an American who beat him and won the world championship. And he won $50,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Playing hockey on a video game. Yeah. I actually had a business where people would buy their teams and compete inside the city. And it was like a pool league, but it was a hockey league on video games. And that was a business I had in Canada 20 years ago. And it was good. It was actually making money. But the problem was I didn't own the buildings that we ran the tournaments, and the rents and expenses were too high to run. So I had to shut the business down, and I came to Asia. All right. Number 4. Do the World Mind Sports Games happen as often as the Olympics?
Yes, every 4 years.
Yeah, they do happen as often as the Olympics. Like the World Cup, too. Right? The World Cup has their own specific tournament every 4 years, right? A lot of them are like that. I think, no, because hockey is now in the Olympics, but they have the World Hockey Championships, and then they have the Juniors World Hockey Championships, and then they also have it in the Olympics now. Canada almost always wins. Did Vanessa Wong win the gold medal in the last World Mind Sports Games?
No, she didn't. But she played very well.
She did. She did very, very, very well. And she plans to become a professional. That's right. Did Vanessa teach herself how to play Go? Because she plays Go, of course. That's her favorite game.
No, her dad teaches her.
Yeah, taught. Her dad taught her. Because she already knows how to play, and she's already a world player. So I don't think dad's teaching her anymore. She is definitely a very good player. How old was she at the time of this story?
16.
Yeah, so she was pretty young. And this story is probably 7 or 8, 9 years old now. So I wonder how she's doing now. I have to Google her in class and find out. What about you?
Maybe she's in 13.
What's that?
Maybe she's in 13.
Maybe she's 13. What do you mean in 13? Grade 13?
No, like 13
30s?
years old.
30s.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have the book here. This is just a story we took from one of the Cambridge books. But I think these books came out, I'm going to guess about 8 years ago. So she might be in her early to mid 20s now. She'd be in her 20s for sure now. For sure. So she definitely went to another World Games after that. Have you ever played Go or chess?
No, I cannot play any of them.
You can't play? Why not? Not allowed?
I don't know why, but it's hard to remember the rules.
It's hard to remember because you don't play often and you're probably not interested.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, because that's the thing. You should never say, I can't do it. Because, now if we're talking about, do you want to play basketball in the NBA? All right. Well, maybe you can't do that because you're not a man and you are not you're not 6'8". You're not 2 meters and 20 centimeters. So and me too. No way I'm going to be I would be a professional basketball player. But on things like schools and games and things skills and things you can learn, you should never say can't. You should understand two things. We talked about that before. If you keep telling your brain you can't, then you're tricking yourself and you're really hurting yourself. You should say, I have a problem with it. I'm just not doing it the right way, or I'm not looking at it the right way. But it changes how your mind looks at things. And the other thing is, what was it? Can't. I have a problem. I forget what the second point was. But that was the main point. Don't say can't. Just say I have a problem with it. It changes the way you look at things. I had a really good example of that in another class, but I can't remember what the example was. I'm getting old. I'm losing my memory. I can't remember what I say anymore. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, remember we talked about that too. If you just look at the students in your school and you look at the kids, which classes they do well in, they score well in, and which classes they score the worst in, and it's almost always the same. It's because the classes they do well in is because it's the classes they like. They're interested. And the classes that they're not interested in, maybe this kid's not interested in history or this kid's not interested in math. And then they keep telling themselves they can't do it. And guess what their scores look like? They look really bad. Right? Because you can't choose what to be interested in. Right? It just happens. You end up doing something and it's like, that got my interest. Right? And those are the things you should explore because those are the things that you could become really, really good at, are the things you're interested in. Okay, we're done. I got to go do Dudley. Dudley? No. Yes.
Dudley.
Dudley. That's right. Okay. So Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
It's
Christmas Eve?
no,
It's not Christmas Eve? Are you sure? I put up the Christmas tree.
I'm sure. Very, very sure.
Yeah.
100%.
It's only September. So Halloween's coming soon. All right. Bye-bye. We'll see you next week in Interest 17.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Say hi to Paris for me and your mom.